Okay, what we have here is the combustion demo. Now this is very much the same setup as the diagram in your student pack. So the purpose of this demo is to test and identify the two products of combustion. Okay, so we should be familiar that the two products of complete combustion are carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so when a fuel combusts, you get carbon dioxide and water produced. Okay, so here is our fuel. I've got some ethanol that I'm combusting. I'm just going to place it here, and what's going to happen is the carbon dioxide and the water that are being produced are going to be drawn through all of this equipment. And the reason that's happening is because we have a vacuum here, okay, which is just simply I'm running some water through a T-piece and it's drawing the air through this tube. Because if I was just burning this ethanol, all of that carbon dioxide and water that's being produced, there's no reason for it to go through all these tubes and go through the equipment. Okay, so you need to provide a vacuum in order to pull it all through. Otherwise, all that carbon dioxide and water vapor would just disappear into the surrounding, into the room. Okay, so I'm just going to lower that down slightly so that we get the maximum amount of our carbon dioxide and our water vapor going through our equipment. So, like I said, there's two products here. We've got carbon dioxide and water vapor. Okay, and we're going to test for both of those individually. So the first thing that's going to happen is both of those products, the carbon dioxide and the water vapor, are both in the gas state. So they're being produced here by our burner. They're going in to this, well, this could be a funnel, but we're using a can. Okay, and it's going to go through this tube. Okay, and it's going to go into this Ubend here. And the Ubend is sat in some cold water. So what's going to happen is I've got two products here. I've got carbon dioxide and water vapor, and both of them are going to go through this Ubend. And because it's cold, the water vapor will condense, because the water vapor's got a much lower boiling point. The carbon dioxide will stay as a gas, but the water vapor will condense. So the water vapor is going to condense into this Ubend. And what we have in the bottom of that Ubend, if I can show you that, is we have some cobalt chloride powder, which is this really light blue colour. And in the presence of water, it turns pink. Okay, so over time, all the water vapor that's being produced is going to condense into this Ubend, and it's going to react with that cobalt chloride paper, or that cobalt chloride powder, I should say, and it's going to turn it pink. The carbon dioxide won't condense because the carbon dioxide has a much higher boiling point. So much lower boiling point, I should say. So it's going to stay as a gas, and it's going to travel through the Ubend, not condense, and then stay as a gas and travel into here. And what we have here is lime water. And you can see here, already, in the time it's taken me to talk to this point, it's already turning cloudy. And we should be familiar that the test for carbon dioxide is to bubble it through lime water, and if it turns cloudy, then that is the positive test for carbon dioxide. So, what we've proven then is by collecting the water vapor here that is going to condense and turn this cobalt chloride powder pink, then we prove the presence of water vapor, and by the lime water turning cloudy, we prove the presence of carbon dioxide. Okay, now I'm not going to leave this running for the whole experiment because there's no need. But if we leave this running, what we will start to see is condensation in this tube here, and that powder will turn pink. And we can already see that this has already turned cloudy. So we've already proven carbon dioxide, and if we left it long enough, then this would turn pink. If this had been a normal lesson, I would have set this up at the beginning and left it until the end, and we would have been able to compare before and after. But what will happen is this will eventually turn pink from the water that's being produced. But again, this is a very a classic setup. They like to ask questions on this. Make sure you're familiar with how we're proving water vapor is present by the cobalt chloride going from blue to pink. How are we proving carbon dioxide is being produced because the lime water turns cloudy? How are we making the products travel through our equipment in the first place? Because we attach it to a vacuum. You don't have to say how, you just got to say it's attached to a vacuum. And this is it. This is the classic chemistry combustion demo.